Hey, welcome back to another SUPboarder review, and this week we're going to be looking at the Naish Hokua X32 and 9.1 in the GTW construction. The Naish brand is probably one of the most well-known surf brands out there. All started back in 1979 when Robbie Naish, windsurf legend, started to make his own windsurfing equipment, and now he's been making kitesurf SUP surf equipment still to this day. Specifications for the Hokua X32. This is the 9.1 version. It's 32 inches wide, it's 5 inches thick, it comes in at 150 litres in volume, it weighs 10 kilograms, and it retails at £1,499. The fin setup this board comes in, it comes in a 2+1, and it also has a quad fin box setup as well, so you can ride it as quads as well. The general overview of the Hokua X32 range, generally quite a short, quite a wide, stable board with a very nice performance outline shape to it. It comes in several sizes. It comes in a bigger version, which is a 9.6, and a smaller version, an 8.8, an 8.3, and a 7.10. And they're all available in various constructions, a GT, a GTW, which is the wood one here, and an LE construction too. Construction and materials for this board: EVA diamond deck pad throughout most of the board. Construction is an EPS foam core, and then it's got fiberglass, and then it's got the top and bottom is a wood sandwich, and the wood you can see visible on the deck there. Who's this board aimed for? This is an intermediate to advanced surf SUP designed for a larger rider who wants to get the most out of small to medium sized surf. Okay, so that's the catalogue bump you can find on the internet. This is the SUPboarder first impressions. Straight out the bag, this board had a beautiful quality as it would do with the Naish board. Really nice to see the wood visible on the deck. Very good quality there. Lovely EVA deck pad, which we tested in another Raptor, same sort of deck pad, very grippy. Really nice, deep, recessed carry handle, as we said in another video. Naish probably the first company to do that. Really well finished off. Deck pad right to the tail, nice kicker and everything like that. So the finish of the board looks fantastic. The bottom of the board has a high gloss finish with a nice Polynesian print coming back to the fin setup. So as I said, it's a 2+1. 2+1 is basically a thruster setup, but the centre fin is a bigger fin. Fin's still of very good quality and nicely finished off with a really nice shape. It's also nice having the 2 extra fin boxes at the back there to make the board a quad as well, and then you can change the feel of the board again. So looking at the outline shape of the board, as I said, this is a more performance-based shape due to the pulled-in nose and the slightly round to square tail. This will allow the surfer to be able to ride the board in the more critical section of the wave and make faster, more aggressive turns. Because the board is 150 litres, it does make the rail quite full and quite round at the centre, but it has got a nice progressional rail which gets nice and sharp to the tail and really thins out. So this basically means the board won't bog or slow you down on a good bottom turn. It will release and still give you lots of grip and plenty of speed. So looking at this bottom shape of the board, at the front of the board we have a concave at the front there, so the water's trying to be trapped and held and give you lift. Moving on to the mid section of the board, but the board is almost flat there, and then moving back to V, where the board is getting a little bit more V, and then back to the fins, even more V, and just past the fin there, the board starts to flatten out. So basically the board is going to give you quite a lot of lift to paddle into the wave, bit of speed in the mid section if you pump and put your weight forward, and then the V is going to give you a lot of controllability and make it easy to ride in not so perfect conditions. The rocker line of the board, starting off at the nose, there's quite a lot of rocker on the nose of the board, which is a good thing performance-based surfing. When you can surf a board in more of a critical section of the wave and do more aggressive turns, the nose won't bury, it won't nose dive. So that's what rocker's there for, it's to keep you out of the water. Moving back on the board, it starts to flatten off. This gives you generate speed, so that's a good thing. So you can have quite a lot of flat section, and then a nice amount of tail kick, which also aids to the turning off the top in the critical section part of the wave. Paddling and the performance on the surf of this board. When you're paddling on the wave, the board offers a nice amount of glide due to its length, so it's quite easy to catch waves. On the wave it feels very smooth and fast, really nice to do rail to rail turns. It doesn't really feel like a 9.1 at 32 wide, it feels more like an 8.5 or something like that. I did find that if you put a smaller back fin in the centre, for somebody of a smaller size, they're going to get a lot more out of the turns, be able to force the board around faster. But if you're a bigger rider, this sort of fin setup will probably be absolutely fine. The board does surf well in small to medium, sort of weaker waves, let's say, but if you're a rider of about sort of 95k, 100 kg, you're going to be able to surf it in bigger waves than that, probably in the double overhead sort of size, if not a little bit bigger. So it has a wide range of wave conditions this board will be used in. So who is the Naish Hokua X32 designed for? Because of its performance-based outline, it's more pulled in nose and slightly more pulled in tail, it's going to lend itself to a more intermediate advanced surfer. Yes, you could paddle this if you just got into SUP surfing or supping on the flat quite easily because it's 32 wide, but because of the pulled in nose, when you're paddling for waves and it's not so clean, a bit choppier, you are going to find it a little bit more difficult. But then on the wave as well, because of the thinner tail, it's going to feel more lively and more responsive. If you look at the Naish Mana range, for instance, very similar board, similar width, but it's much more rounded than nose and tail. It's going to give you much more sort of a wider, easier board to paddle. So this is a more performance board, and this one itself, the 150 litre version, is going to lend itself to a bigger rider, about up to 110 kilograms. Negatives, downsides. The only thing I don't like but do like, a bit torn, is the high gloss finish on the bottom. I do find that when I'm pulling it out of the bag, taking it off the roof of the car, I'm searching for any bit of grass or sand possible, because it does pick up a few marks, but it does look amazing too, so it's a bit of you just got to be careful with it. Value for money, so at £1,499, top end price point, top end quality Naish board. Wouldn't want it to be any more, but it's acceptable at the price it is, so yeah, value for money. The SUPboarder verdict for the Naish Hokua X32 9.1. Basically, this board is going to be a really nice board for a larger rider, intermediate to advanced surfer that wants to get a lot out of a wide range of conditions in not so perfect waves. And the whole X32 range is going to lend itself to that same sort of thing. If you're not looking going down the Raptor route, the super short sort of stubby thing, the Hokua range is a good range to look at for that intermediate performance surfer. If you have any questions or comments about this boards or other boards we've tested, please leave them in the comments section below. And if you want to find out more information about the Naish boards and other boards we've reviewed, please visit SUPboardermag.com. So the SUPboarder verdict for the Naish Hokua GTW 9.1 X32.